How's everybody doing tonight? Yeah!
Times that by 10, because our next guest is a fine, fine comic, and you're going to enjoy every word that comes out of her brilliant mouth. Let's give a big round of applause
For Tamara Brown.
Hi guys. Some news going on with me right now. My boyfriend just moved in recently, so we're going through that thing. We have to get used to each other's bad habits. He does this thing where if he doesn't have to be at work or have a specific thing to do during the day, he will lay on the couch and eat hummus and watch movies all day, which I just don't get. That's so wasteful to me because it's like, come on, how can you watch movies all day when there's so much really cool stuff going on Facebook? Don't get it. Studies show that teens' interest in Facebook is dwindling. I don't know if you've heard that. But Facebook shows that my Aunt Brenda's interest in adorable angel memes is skyrocketing through the roof. Can't get enough. I was reading on Yahoo today a list of the top 10 baby names that you don't want to name your baby. Number 1 on the list was the name Destiny, because people hear the name Destiny and think of a stripper. I never do that. I never pre-assume anything about anyone based on their name. And the reason that I don't do that is because my name's Tamara Brown, and I'm not a no-nonsense black woman. It's me. Even though I have a boyfriend, I still like to play wing woman with my guy friends, go out to bars with them and help them meet chicks. And whenever I do that with my guy friends, I always point out the typically hot girl, Playboy hot, blonde, big boobs. And so whenever I point out those girls, my guy friends are always like, no, not her. I don't want to hear dumb stories about her cat's birthday and how she wants to take pole dancing classes. And I'm like, all right, fine, if you're so noble, show me who you're interested in. And my guy friends will inevitably point out the same hot chick, but only wearing horn-rimmed nerd glasses and an Avengers t-shirt, wearing her personality. I'm like, you realize that Superman and Clark Kent are the same person, right? Take any hot girl and put on nerd glasses and an X-Men backpack, and suddenly she's completely cool and forgiving of your social anxiety and excessive arm hair. Just no longer an issue at all. But when I hang out with my girlfriends, we have very girly conversations. We usually talk about diets and plastic surgery. One of my friends, she's always like, I just would never do that. Plastic surgery is so fake, so totally fake. And I'm like, yeah, I guess I can see that, but you're wearing a Ramones t-shirt and can't name a single Ramones song. So where do we draw the line at what's fake? Don't really know that. And then another friend of mine, she said thinks it's really creepy. Thinks plastic surgery makes your face look really weird and creepy. I guess sometimes that happens, but you know what's creepier is if plastic surgery actually worked. If it actually did what it was meant to do. If a woman who was 60 got a facelift and she actually did look 25, that would be way creepier. Because then some dude would be in a bar talking up this hot chick, but all she talks about is Steely Dan and rheumatoid arthritis. Why her son hasn't met the right lady yet? That's way weirder. One of my girlfriends, she's got kids, and she's one of these progressive parents. She only wants her kids to play with gender-neutral toys, so they can't play with Barbies or G.I. Joes, which is fine. I get that. Her kids play with Legos and finger paints. I just feel kind of bad for them because I think back to when I was a kid playing with Barbies and G.I. Joes, and I'm like, how are these kids playing with Legos and finger paints going to have a normal childhood? Because it's not like you can make Legos and finger paints have sex with each other. Just me? Everybody, my friends all have pets, cat people, dog people. Are you guys animal people? I'm not at all. Totally respect it if you are. I'm just not an animal person. And everybody seems to kind of know this about me. They get really offended if you're not totally into their pets as much as they are. My friends will show me a picture of their dog, and they're like, oh, sorry, Tamara, sorry, I know you hate dogs. And I'm like, I don't hate them. Like, it's not that harsh. Don't have that kind of attitude. Like, I don't hate them. And then as I start to explain my position on cats and dogs, I start to sound like my grandpa talking about minorities. I'm like, I don't hate them, I just don't want them in my neighborhood. I don't think they should be allowed in restaurants. I don't think they should vote. That's actually true. I don't think cats should vote. There, I said it. Standing by it. I keep hearing people brag about how blind they are. I don't know if you've ever done this. Anybody who wears glasses says that they're blind without their glasses. And because of that, I will always see friends, like a friend of mine was like, oh, I need a new prescription, so I'm having a hard time when I'm driving, I can barely see street signs. I'm like Helen Keller behind the wheel, I'm so blind. And then my other friend tries to one-up them, and I'm like, oh, I know, I don't have my contact lenses at night, I'm waking up in the middle of the night, I'm bumping into things, I'm so blind. It's like this weird competition of who's almost disabled. But I always notice it because I actually am blind. I'm legally blind. Like, I have a hard time reading menus. I can't drive a car. So when I hear people like one-upping each other over who's blinder, I'm like, should I just jump in there and shut this down? I'll be like, oh, you can bump into things at night without your contacts in. Totally. Just like how back when I was in school, I used to have to carry around these giant books of enlarged print. It made me look like a big weirdo and nobody wanted to hang with the blind girl. And then it's silence. And I'm like, oh, sorry about that, guys. I thought we were all just joshing about our social imperfections. I don't want anyone to feel sorry for me, so if it makes you feel any better, I'm actually really racist. So I'm gonna end it there. You guys have been great. Thanks so much.